Hello, knowledge seekers. In this episode of 20-Minute Books, we delve into A Monk's Guide to Happiness, a transformative text that explores the path to achieving serenity and liberation from suffering through the lens of Buddhist philosophy. This enlightening guide is authored by Gelong Thubten, a seasoned Tibetan Buddhist monk whose journey of self-discovery took him from the stages of London and New York to the tranquil halls of the Kagyu Samye Ling Monastery in Scotland. Drawing on 25 years of rigorous training and extensive meditation retreats, Thubten offers a rich tapestry of insights and practices designed to uplift the spirit and clarify the mind. Suitable for those feeling trapped in the perpetual motion of the modern rat race, worn down by the endless scrolls of social media, or simply curious about the essence of mindfulness, this book promises to depict pathways that lead to a content and mindful existence, one breath at a time. Chronicling his own transformation from an Oxford-educated actor to a dedicated monk, Thubten shares his wisdom and experiences, making them accessible to all. Whether you're navigating the choppy waters of everyday life or seeking solace in a world that moves too fast, A Monk's Guide to Happiness stands as a beacon of hope, a testament to the power of turning inwards to find true joy. Join us as we uncover the core principles that can lead one to a peace that transcends the ever-changing tides of external circumstances. A Monk's Guide to Happiness, Meditation in the 21st Century. Introduction. Embark on a journey to find true joy within. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to access a state of joy and calm at the snap of your fingers, no matter the storms raging around you? It might sound like a fantasy, akin to having the power of flight or the strength of a superhero. Yet, this idea is not as far-fetched as it seems. What if I told you that you can cultivate a superpower of your own, the power to be happy anywhere, anytime? Let me guide you into understanding why the search for happiness often leads us astray, and how, with a little shift in perspective and mental training, you can embark on the path to lasting happiness. From the moment we wake up, we're inundated with the world's noise, promising us happiness in the next big thing, a promotion, a new car, the latest tech gadget. But these external sources of pleasure are fleeting and often leave us feeling even more empty than before. The key to switching on our inner happiness lies not outside, but within the quiet spaces of our own minds. Imagine having the ability to remain composed during a high-stakes meeting, or to smile with genuine contentment on a day when nothing seems to go right. This superpower isn't about denying negative experiences or numbing ourselves to life's realities. Rather, it's about learning to cultivate an inner sanctuary of peace that can weather any adversity. So, what's the secret to training our minds to generate happiness? The answer is quite simple: mindfulness. By developing a mindful approach to life, you offer yourself the space to reconnect with the present moment, abandoning the ceaseless search for happiness in external achievements or materials. It's like building a mental muscle. The more you practice mindfulness, the stronger and more resilient your capacity for happiness becomes. But how do you start this practice today? It begins with a conscious decision to observe your thoughts without judgment, to breathe deeply, and to focus on the here and now. Like any skill, it takes time to master. Yet, every moment spent in mindful awareness is a step closer to unlocking your innate superpower. In the chapters that follow, we will delve into techniques to amplify your inner happiness and transform not just your own life, but also the lives of those around you. Together, let's explore the art of joy, an art that is not only accessible, but infinitely enriching. Part 1. Discover the timeless essence of happiness. Let's pause for a moment and ponder a timeless query. What truly is happiness? This isn't just philosophical musing. It's a question with profound, tangible implications. To seek happiness, surely we must understand its very essence. At the heart of happiness lies a trio of elements. Imagine happiness as a vessel. Its first component is a sense of being filled to the brim. When happiness abounds, we are not left wanting. We feel whole and complete in the here and now. This fullness means existing without craving something more or different, the feeling that everything in this moment is exactly as it should be. Then, there's the element of presence. Happiness anchors us firmly in the present. It is the art of staying grounded, avoiding the turbulent seas of past regrets or future worries. It's the end of laments about what was or fears of what may be, allowing the present moment to take center stage. Finally, happiness bestows upon us a magnificent freedom. It is the key that unlocks the shackles of our usual responses to longing and unease, the chains of negative emotions and restless desires that otherwise bind us. In happiness, we find release from the relentless pull of wanting the present to be anything other than it is. Understanding these components is only the beginning. Next, we'll venture into the maze of the mind, tracing the contours of the mental barriers to our freedom. With this blueprint of our internal blockades, we'll devise a strategy to transcend the confines and step into happiness as our natural state. Part 2. Navigating the pitfalls of unhappiness. When delving into the roots of unhappiness, we confront an internal echo of lack, a void that incessantly whispers of something missing. This sense of incompleteness, or the gnawing perception that we're not whole, typically originates from our desires and the pursuit of fulfillment beyond our own being. This is where our grasp on happiness begins to slip, and why understanding the source of this feeling is so crucial. Desire, it turns out, is a double-edged sword. On one hand, it drives us to aspire and achieve. On the other, it reinforces an idea that happiness is an external treasure waiting to be unearthed. Consider the case of longing for a promotion. As an example, such professional advancement is perceived as a vital piece in our puzzle of happiness, creating an emptiness only that specific success can fill. The desire for this promotion then dictates a feeling of incompleteness, fostering a relentless quest for satisfaction. This mindset operates under the fallacy that joy is an acquisition, something residing outside our own selves. We become happiness seekers, searching in material possessions, experiences, people, or achievements. In doing so, we place our well-being in the hands of others and external situations, a locus of control alarmingly out of reach. The irony is stark. Even when these desires are fulfilled, such as finally getting that sought-after promotion, the happiness experienced is transient. Like a mirage in the desert, as soon as we reach one desire, the next appears on the horizon, fostering a cycle of perpetual dissatisfaction. So, if chasing desires places us on a never-ending treadmill of dissatisfaction, how do we leap off and break the cycle? By reorienting towards the source of genuine happiness, which is not in the extraordinary but the ordinary, not in far-off lands but within us. In the next segments, we will learn to shift our paradigm and find a sustainable source of happiness that doesn't rely on the temporary satisfaction of desires, but stems from a deeper, ever-present well of contentment. Part 3. Understanding the drive behind constant desires in the modern era. The quest to escape the dizzying vortex of insatiable desire first requires us to understand the modern forces at play, prompting feelings of never being quite complete. As we go about our digital age, navigating through the sea of societal cues, it becomes evident that our culture not only feeds, but amplifies the sense of lacking that propels us on this unending chase for more. Imagine the transformative effect of traditional advertising supplemented by the digital age's prowess. Each billboard, commercial, or pop-up ad is a siren call claiming to fill the gaps within us. The message is clear. You're incomplete as you are. Acquire this, and you'll finally be whole. The subtext is that our current state is insufficient, and only through purchasing can we attain the elusive satisfaction we seek. As if the calls of advertising weren't persuasive enough, the advent of social media takes the comparison game to new heights. Against a backdrop of seemingly perfect lives showcased in posts and pictures, our existence begins to pale. The echo across platforms is uniform. Your life could be so much better. And then there's the intoxicating lure of sensory excess. Culturally, we've shifted into a realm of constant bombardment of sights, sounds, and tastes, each one more stimulating than the last. From the allure of high energy media content to the temporary euphoria induced by sugary and caffeinated delights, we're locked in a cycle of seeking the next rush, the next peak of pleasure. As this becomes our new normal, our threshold for stimulation rises, leaving us prone to distraction and a gnawing thirst for further excitement. These cultural dynamics fuel the craving cycle, transforming us into addicts of stimulation, perpetually seeking the next fix. However, this frenzy hides a deeper malaise. It distracts us from looking within to find the contentment that's been overshadowed by the never-ending chase. Unwrapping these layers to reveal the underlying dissatisfaction requires a change in focus. As we move forward, we'll delve into the peace that comes from within and learn to withdraw from the frenetic cultural race of desires that constantly promises happiness just around the next corner. Part 4. The elusive chase for happiness in external pleasures. Delving deeper into the pursuit of happiness, we stumble upon an uncomfortable truth. If happiness is the destination we seek, looking for it outside of ourselves is a journey fraught with pitfalls. Modernity's allure may seduce us into believing otherwise, yet the quest for happiness through external sources frequently leads down a path to discontent. It's important to understand that external pleasures, yes, even the non-material ones like relationships or nature's beauty, are transient by nature. Therein lies one of the great paradoxes of happiness. If it depends on the ephemeral, anxiety and sorrow lurk nearby, shadowing our enjoyment with the dread of their inevitable loss. When we try to grip tightly to these fleeting pleasures, holding on for dear life, we often distort and destroy the very happiness we seek to preserve. Imagine the partner gripped by possessiveness, eroding the foundations of a relationship in a fruitless bid to make it everlasting, or the beauty of a sunset tinged with sadness because we know it ends. In both cases, the pursuit of happiness, through holding on, only furthers our unhappiness. But beyond the inherent impermanence, there's a deeper issue at work within us. The mental pattern of perpetual seeking. Even when we accumulate our desires, the inner mechanism is so attuned to seeking outside itself that it never settles. It is always scanning the horizon for the next source of joy. This habit renders us akin to social butterflies at a party, flitting from one conversation to the next, but never fully engaging, never truly satisfied. It is a perpetual condition of reaching for something just beyond our grasp, fueling a cycle of dissatisfaction. We've identified a key culprit of our unhappiness, this habitual reaching. As we advance, we're about to confront its counterpart, the habit of pushing away, and explore how reversing these habits can unlock a more enduring state of well-being. Part 5. Letting go to embrace true happiness. In our quest for happiness, we've now identified a common stumbling block, the ceaseless pattern of clinging to what we desire and rejecting what we disdain. These impulses to grasp and push away mold our experiences, often leading us deep into the throes of discontent. The roots of unhappiness can take various forms, from the concrete, such as wanting to avoid certain people or situations, to the intangible, like battling unwanted thoughts or emotions. Our instinct is to resist these experiences, to rid ourselves of them, but resistance only intensifies our dissatisfaction. Consider the headache that throbs at your temples. The physical discomfort is one thing, but layered on top is the internal resistance, the mental cry of, "Not this, make it stop." Yet, if we pause and abandon the struggle against the pain, an unexpected tranquility may emerge. The headache might persist, but the anguish around it eases. This newfound neutrality is where peace nestles and happiness begins to resurface. The principle of releasing resistance works not just with what we want to push away, but also with what we yearn to keep close. Liberation from the tension and unease that accompanies our persistent grasping offers a breath of relief and a step towards authentic contentment. Arriving at this realization is a turning point. Suffering doesn't come from our desires or aversions themselves, but from the very act of clinging or rejecting. The potential to untangle from the web of dissatisfaction seems simple yet profound. By releasing both our grasps and rejections, we grant experiences the freedom to exist as they are, and we claim our inner peace. However, transcending these deeply ingrained habits is no small feat. It demands significant mental fortitude and rigorous training. We must learn to embrace a stance of neutrality and acceptance, a state of allowing things to simply be. The path ahead is one of cultivating this mindset, and thereby stepping closer to genuine, unshakable happiness. Part 6. Strengthening mental resilience through the art of meditation. Embarking on the journey to refine our mental prowess bears similarity to physical training. Just as targeted exercises build muscles, so too can we sculpt our mind's capacity to observe life's ebb and flow with composure. This mental exercise, rich in history and wisdom, requires no complex tools or secrets. Its power lies in the practice of meditation. Should you find yourself skeptical at the mention of meditation, consider this. Much of meditation's essence is frequently misunderstood or reduced to a trendy form of relaxation in our fast-paced world. The essence of meditation is not merely a quarter-hour retreat into serenity, nor a daily escapade from the cacophony that envelops our existence. But herein lies a subtle nuance that's often overlooked. If approached as a means to an end, to reach a state of stillness, meditation becomes yet another target of our grasping hands. Any ripple in our calm pond of meditation is viewed as an unwelcome intruder, disturbing the peace we try so desperately to maintain. Embracing meditation through the lens of clinging to calm or resisting distractions merely perpetuates the cycle of unhappiness. This misalignment with the true practice can breed frustration, as the tranquility we sought instead evades us, leading many to prematurely abandon meditation altogether. However, the true aim of meditation isn't confined to the moments of stillness on the cushion. Its purpose stretches far beyond into everyday life. Meditation cultivates the skill to remain imperturbable amid life's storms, not just during the act itself. It teaches us to embrace each experience with neutrality, not grasping for joy nor rejecting sorrow, but simply observing them. As we turn our gaze to the next page, we'll examine the profound implications of this revelation, how the practice of meditation can sculpt our very perception and guide us towards a sustainable, accessible happiness that blooms from within, irrespective of whether we're in the midst of meditation or the chaos of the outside world. Part 7. Cultivating mindfulness as a daily ritual for happiness. Cultivating the art of mindfulness involves more than sitting silently with our own thoughts. It's about actively exercising our ability to remain in the present, observing without judgment. Mindfulness meditation is the training ground, but the true test and triumph lie in integrating this skill into the tapestry of daily life. At its core, meditation invites us to participate in a three-step dance, beginning with centering attention on a present moment anchor, like the breath or body, acknowledging when our focus drifts, as it naturally will, and then steering our awareness back to that anchor. Repeating these steps during meditation forms the cornerstone of developing mindfulness. But why limit this enriching practice to a set time and place? Why not weave it through the fabric of our everyday experiences? Herein lies the concept of mindful moments, seizing the everyday, routine activities that we tend to autopilot through and transforming them into opportunities for practicing mindfulness. Imagine turning the simple act of brushing your teeth into a robust sensory experience, being acutely aware of the taste of the toothpaste, the rhythmic motion of the brush, and the sounds that resonate in the bathroom. Or consider eating lunch with full presence, noting the textures, colors, and flavors in each bite rather than mechanically chewing while scrolling through the phone. By intentionally infusing mindfulness into mundane activities, we repeatedly invite our wandering minds back to the present, thereby embedding this practice into our subconscious. This consistent practice will, over time, shift mindfulness from a deliberate effort into a seamless habit, an undercurrent that sustains us both in moments of ease and in the face of adversity. However, reaching such a level of effortless mindfulness is an endeavor that requires both dedication and strategy. As we forge ahead, we'll uncover practical tips and insights to fortify this practice, propelling us on our pathway to a more consistently peaceful and happy state of being. Part 8. Mindful Meditation, Beyond Just a Practice. When you embark on the meditative voyage, the sequence is seemingly straightforward. Choose an anchor, recognize when your attention strays, and gently guide it back. Simple, isn't it? And yet, anyone familiar with meditation knows it presents challenges. The primary hurdle being the inevitable wandering of the mind. Often practitioners berate themselves when their concentration falters, casting the occurrence as a failure. But it's essential to comprehend that this is not a defeat. Rather, it's a critical aspect of meditation's design. Without the mind's propensity to roam, we'd lose out on the essential practice of noticing the drift and recalibrating our focus, a cycle that hones our mindfulness skills. This mistake of losing concentration is not just forgivable. It's an indispensable part of the process. Embrace this mindset of self-compassion and learning as you expand your mindfulness into daily life, recognizing that each apparent misstep is a valuable opportunity for growth. Now you might reconsider another facet of your meditation practice, the conventional use of closed eyes and calming music. While these may seem like helpful aids, the ultimate goal of meditation is not restricted to the times we sit in silence. It's to cultivate a deliberate awareness that permeates every corner of our lives, whether in quietude or amidst the chaos. Consider this. We don't live our lives in the bubble of total serenity and closed eyelids, so relying on these conditions for meditation inadvertently teaches us that mindfulness is a special occasion practice. Instead, try meditating with eyes open and without music, embedding the mindfulness state in more typical scenarios. By stirring this realization that mindfulness is not confined to controlled environments, but is ready to be tapped into at any moment, we open ourselves to truly accessing peace wherever life takes us. The extraordinary journey of mindfulness, then, is not just about refining a practice, but about transforming our very approach to being, with eyes open, ready to see and embrace the world in all its complexity and wonder. Final summary. Our contemporary culture, with its ceaseless advertising and hyper-stimulating media, exacerbates the craving for external sources of joy, trapping us in an endless cycle of seeking and repulsion. By attempting to clutch onto the things we yearn for and cast aside those we reject, we're ensnared in a self-made labyrinth of discontent. The key to unlocking true and enduring happiness is to practice mindful neutrality, observing our experiences with equanimity rather than judgment. Meditation emerges as a powerful tool in this context, providing the framework to hone our ability to stay present and accept experiences as they are, without grasping or rejecting. But integrating mindfulness into our everyday existence is where its transformative potential truly unfurls. This isn't just about cultivating a fleeting state during a meditation session, it's about nurturing a consistent mode of being. By anchoring ourselves in the present and greeting each moment with openness, we can foster an enduring inner peace, accessible at any time. The journey toward happiness, then, isn't just about carving out time for meditation. It's about infusing mindful awareness into the full spectrum of our daily routines. As we adopt this practice as a way of life, we learn to embrace the world with clear eyes and a steady heart, discovering the profound joy that comes from within. Thank you for joining me today on this journey of learning and discovery as we explored the insights of another thought provoking book in our growing library of knowledge. If you've enjoyed our time together, please take a moment to follow our podcast, give us a 5-star rating, and share 20-minute books with other knowledge seekers. Your support truly means a lot. Don't forget to join me again in the next episode, where we will delve into another enriching book. Until then, happy reading and happy listening.